RattleBee, I think it's time. Are you nice and adjusted? Okay. What? Oh, I forgot your baby food. Be right back. Okay. All right, RattleBee. We are golden. I got the Rattle XR drip, which is simply just water. Okay. All right, RattleBee. So we are in a, I don't really know how to explain it, but we are in a vortex. And what I mean by that is just an energy that you just allow yourself to just freedom. And what I mean by freedom, it's freedom of expression, freedom of movement. And in this space, yes, it's an office, but it has so much energy in here. I have my dad's urns behind me. I have pictures of my partner's grandparents. It's just a lot of energy. And the goal was to really break down what inner child means to me and to test my knowledge of what we have created. And if there is a soul that is witnessing this, maybe it will be clarity, maybe it will be something that they have been striving for or starving for. But yeah, so I hope you're comfortable because I gotta get a better stand. How are you feeling? You feeling good? Okay. So RattleBee, what questions do you have for me? Am I nervous? Yes, fucking nervous. Why am I nervous? Oh my gosh, why am I nervous? I'm nervous because I feel like it's a lot of work to do energy work, one thing, and then to talk about just subjects that are triggering to me, and to have whomever just to witness you. It's intimidating, but I also feel like it's my life's purpose. But deeper than that, what I mean by my life's purpose is not to shrink and not to be afraid of who I am, because this is me and this is you, and part of me remembering that is you, and you have taught me that underneath this meat flesh we are bone, and we are energy and unconditional love. So to some, that may sound like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But, you know, what I'm doing is I'm reparenting my inner child. And that is what we are going to talk about today. Yes? Great. I wonder if they can see you better right there. Ah! They can see you better like that. Now, RattleBee and I are going to be going over some data. And this data, I know I said I wouldn't look at the green dot, but this time I am, because I also want anyone who's watching to feel seen and not feel like I'm ignoring you. But part of it is why I don't look at the green dot, because I'm not performing. And I feel like society has been taught to look at the green dot for validation and approval. And for me personally, when my trauma started, I never looked at a green dot. So it's interesting now how come society looks at a green dot for validation. And another thing is, I don't want to be a guru. I don't want that pressure. I don't want that responsibility. I just want to be a reflection. So, an inner child explained. Simple as ABC pop culture examples. A, always inside you. So what we mean by that, RattleBee, is, how can I explain this? Yes, okay. So everything is internal, meaning there's no outside force. So when we say I'm drinking Rattle XR drip, it's simply water. The same thing that we give our animals. At least that's what I give Brody and Orion. I give them water. And so I feel like, RattleBee, I gotta tell you this. I've been really trying to stop drinking caffeine, and I always have this battle with venom after I buy this drink, and I'm like, why did I buy that again? Who is this benefiting? And I feel like the older that I'm getting, the more I'm just cautious of what I put in my body. Am I perfect? No, it's not about that, but it's also about, I feel like the more that I'm awakening, the more I am just truly loving my avatar, meaning I want to take care of it because my body is my temple. And so anyway, RattleBee, yesterday I was at the gym, and I got to the gym a little bit late, around like 4 p.m. And I'm like, okay, I cannot have caffeine at 4 p.m. There's just no way. And so I didn't. But the beautiful thing is, I didn't die. I survived. I got through my workout, and I didn't need caffeine because I'm like, oh, internally, the energy is already in me. And this is where my brain goes, RattleBee. My hypothesis is there is a spark of energy that creates all of this. And my brain goes, there is no way that can has some type of magical, energetic source that makes us feel so alive. Because we weren't created from caffeine. We were created from agua. So, that's what we mean when we say everything's internal. This is inside work. Okay. B, built from your first experiences. Okay, so this is where we're going to get deeper. So when we mean reparenting, my first bite, and I don't know about you playmates, but my first bite was not even on social media. My first bite was abandonment. Remember that? And I remember my mom had me when she was 16 years old. Fucking 16, dude, that's fucking crazy. I have a stepdaughter that's 16, RattleBee. Let me turn you this way. And I'm like, how in the world? A 16-year-old having a baby? But deeper than that, I mean, learning and growing on this process, a lot of compassion, but there was a time where I had so much anger at my biological father for not being there for me. And I don't know if I'm the only soul on this planet that grew up with the mom not in the picture, or the dad not in the picture, or both, or the mom being very young and the dad not being in the picture. And so for me, at a very young age, I thought, I mean, I'm like 3 or 4. Am I not good enough? Or where is my dad? And so that was the first bite. Like, fuck social media. This is just life. And I think at a young age, me personally, I didn't feel loved. I don't know. Is that a thing? Yeah, I think it is. So anyway, when I first had that bite, I was like, this doesn't feel good in my body. And so I had that bite for a very, very, very long time. And I still have the bite. And I think eventually what happens, it kind of scars over. And what I mean by that, it's like doing the internal work. And again, not perfect. It's fucking hard. But compassion goes a long way. Yeah. Okay, so that was the first bite. So when I'm reparenting RattleBee, yes, I am showing up in ways my biological father didn't. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. Am I explaining it right? Huh? Yeah. Right. So my first bite was abandonment. Exactly. And so, what? Yeah, I did not feel cared for. And then I also remember my mom not really being the, not really being there for me. I remember this one time, RattleBee and Rattle Squad, I was in a basket net. I can't believe I remember this, but I remember crying, and my mom just, she just never came. And I remember then feeling, oh my God, I don't feel love, or what is this? At a very young age, I was very confused, because, the shows that we would watch on TV, they just showed a perfect, happy family, and the life that I was living was far from that. So, that's what we mean from built from your first experiences. Now, C can be reconnected anytime. You can reconnect to your inner child through play, softness, creativity, movement, compassion. That's reparenting. Oh, you're so sweet. What? Why am I wearing an ego gown? Oh, I'll explain. Because death of the ego means there's nothing here to prove. And when I mean ego is being on earth, I feel like it's always like a hustle. Like how can I explain it? It's, for me personally, it's comparing myself, or shoulda, coulda, woulda, or putting myself down, and I don't want to live that way anymore. It doesn't feel good in my body, and I'm tired of just having to prove things. I'm learning just to be. And that is why we have created the ER Playground. And not just for us, but for any other soul who just wants to be. Now, what else do we have here? So that's why we wear the gown, right? Because we dropped the ego. And part of that is coming up here live. And it's actually interesting wearing a gown, because being in healthcare, we put gowns on patients all the time, but it's interesting being on the other side of, like, being the patient, so to speak, but being the patient of my own antidote. So that's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool that I don't have the pressure of just, I don't know, proving anything. I just want to be, right? I think that's how I can say that. All right, now, pop culture examples. So we have RattleBee, my inner child, superhero. And now these are some examples. You have Barbie and Little Barbie. Barbie respects the adult self. Little Barbie represents the inner child who wants freedom, fun, and expression. Reparenting is Barbie finally listening to her younger self. Just saying. 2, Ken, the Barbie movie. Ken acts out because he feels unseen. Classic wounded inner child behavior. He simply wants to be valued. 3. Woody and Buzz Lightyear. Woody equals the adult self. Careful, protective, controlling. Buzz. The inner child, fearless and imaginative. Imagination runs wild with Buzz. When Woody accepts Buzz, they become unstoppable. That's reparenting. Number 4, Simba and Mufasa. How am I doing, RattleBee? Okay. Simba, the inner child, feels abandoned and ashamed. Adult Simba runs from his truth. Mufasa's voice saying, "Remember who you are," is the moment Simba reconnects to himself. Aww. All right, number 5, Elsa, Frozen. Elsa is taught to conceal, don't feel. Her inner child was suppressed. Reparenting is letting the child sing again. Aww. Oh, Yoda and Luke Skywalker, RattleBee. I like this one. Yoda is childlike, but he is the master. The inner child often holds the deepest wisdom. RattleBee functions the same way for Dr. Rattle. Inside Out. The emotions inside Riley are literally the inner child characters living inside of her. They show how childhood shapes our adult emotional world. Damn! Yeah. RattleBee and I would like to state this. Inner child just means the younger version of you that never died. They live inside your emotions, your reactions, and your memories. Now, reparenting just means going back to that inner kid and saying, "I am here now, I got you, you are safe with me." Okay. That's why RattleBee exists. He's the version of me that didn't get the father he needed. Damn. And Dr. Rattle is the version of me that came back to give him what he never had. Yeah. Now, what? Oh. RattleBee says he loves his Rattle Squad, his Rattle Playmates. What else? Yeah, that they are bright and that they are divine. Oh. And they are seen here. Hence to why we don't really like looking at the green dots, because we don't want to feel that we are teaching at you, because again, I don't want that responsibility. So it's all about witnessing, right? What? Tell them about my... Oh, what's been stirring? Okay. Well, I'll just tell you, RattleBee. Okay, I am... Oh, God. I feel like I've been going stir crazy. I've been going stir crazy. So my partner is a water. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but like a water and a fire, and I'm fire, a lot of energy, and my partner is water. So just trying to find the balance. So basically, getting back to routine, trying to do my self-care, and my self-care is moving my body and connecting to spirit, source. And these last couple of days, I haven't really been able to connect like I wanted to, because I feel like it's almost like this. It's like you have this brand new Ferrari or this brand new fast sports car, and you really want to drive fast, and then you see a cop behind you, and you're like, so you're like looking in the mirror, making sure you don't see the cops following you, and you're checking your speed, like you're on eggshells, and that feeling alone is just exhausting. And so I feel like for a very long time, RattleBee and Rattle Squad, I have been walking on eggshells, especially when it comes to my music. And it went all the way back when I was teaching at LA Fitness. They would be like, that's not Zumba music, or what else would they say? Oh, that's too loud, or I don't know. I just feel like it was always something. I was always getting bit. And with that being said, it's not as easy for me to just truly, fluently let go, RattleBee. I mean, you get it. And so, um, yeah. And then after I left LA Fitness, I got into some studios, trying to do the whole studio thing, which is very fucking exhausting. I'm sorry, buddy. And even when I was at the studio, like, I would get calls from the landlord because the hairstylist, there was a hair shop right next to the studio where we were renting, and in the bathroom, there's like the ceiling is not complete, so therefore the music just really fucking echoes, and the hairdressers did not like the music vibrating the walls, which I get it, like they're trying to run a business, but at the same time I'm also trying to run at the time I would say a dance class, but you and I both know it's more than that. It's embodied fluent energy, it's spirit moving through us, it's just I it's just moving your body unapologetically. I don't really know how to make it any more simpler than that. But anyway, I just feel like I've always been walking on eggshells. And so finally, when I'm here trying to move downstairs, my partner was just like, how can we figure out the music where I don't hear it? And so anyway, I've been trying to like set up this fucking Scarlett, and I've never heard of Scarlett before, and me and technology, we did not go hand in hand. And so this thing, I don't know what the fuck. And so anyway, this is what happened. So we got the Scarlett, and of course Apple doesn't make anything easy. And so the idea was to go live on YouTube, use the music from SoundCloud, pray to God that Venom doesn't hiss at it. And he does, always. And so, and then I get a copyright, so there's that, which is fucking annoying. But, so yeah, there's that. And then, so, anyway, the idea was to put on the AirPod Max, so when I move my body in the ER playground, the partner can't hear the music, but the goal was to have the Rattle Squad hear what I'm listening to, so it's gonna be like an epic silent disco vibe. But it's not that easy. So I go to Guitar Center, and the guy's like, oh, you need this and you need that, and then I don't need this and I don't need that. I only needed one thing, and then they were like looking at me like I'm crazy, which I understand because this is new, but I feel like it's doable. I just don't know how to do it. But anyway, so then I go to Apple, and then Apple doesn't have what I need. And then I go to Target, and I go all over the fucking world, I feel, to get these cords and these adapters and this and that. And so the last 3 days, I have just been like wanting to pull my hair out because there's cords everywhere, and I was literally telling myself, I literally feel like a fucking scientist. Just like cords, and like it looks like a mayhem. But so yeah, frustrating with that. And then when I finally put the head beats on, I can hear the music, but then when I go live, I can hear the music, but I'm also hearing me like breathing and me like running. My nose is running because normally when I start like getting in the spiritual channel, my nose just starts dripping, and I'm like, that's not attractive. Like, who wants to hear dripping, my nose dripping, and like me breathing all hard? But anyway, so I'm like, I have these AirPods on, and I'm like, I can't move with these things on. They're so heavy. And when I shed into you, I can't really hear the music, and my head's like this. I'm like, oh, this is not fun. And then I'm like, there has to be an easier way to fucking do this. But anyway, I'm like, at this point, I just need to fucking move my body. Like, I was starting to get anxious. I was starting to get irritable. Like, I was starting to get road rage. And I'm like, okay, I need to fucking move my body. Like, I don't care about the sound system anymore. I just need to move. Because part of all of this, it's not about perfection. It's just about showing up for yourself. And I feel like, again, Venom wants us to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect equipment. But when is it truly ever fucking perfect? It's not. So I had that stirring, and then I rearranged the ER playground, and I talked to my partner. I'm like, okay, what if I turn the speaker away from the house, and so it ricochets on the opposite, and then I was able to like make the mirrors like almost like a birthing center, where the mirrors can like block off the music so it doesn't ricochet through the house. And so anyway, the other day when I was in the ER playground, I was channeling RattleBee, and you won't believe what happened. The music went out, and I don't know what happened, but I'm proud of myself because I think my old version of me would be, oh my god, the music went out, exit, evacuate. But I'm also like, no. Because I feel like it's almost like this. If a child falls, are you just going to leave them and stare at them and let them cry? Or are you going to pick them up and say, oh my god, are you okay? Do you need anything? What happened? Like, you're calm, you're collected. And also, I mean, I want to say they teach you this in nursing school, but I honestly think it's just a skill, clinical thinking, and just being grounded in chaos. So anyway, the cord fucked up, and I'm like, oh no. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep playing with the music because we're in the lab, we're in the frequency, and we're just gonna go with it. And we did. So that was nice. It felt really good just to move my body again and to connect to God. And I don't know how to really explain it, but when I move and when I create, it's like a big hug from spirit, source, the universe, whatever you believe in. Something started all of this. We have electricity pumping through our hearts, B. What? Yeah, it was frustrating. And that's why I rattle. That's why I create. And that's why I create all day, because it's my medicine. What? Yeah. So RattleBee wanted me to state kind of, I'm getting ready to go through a transition, meaning I'm getting ready to, in my leadership program, it was a year long, fucking hard. And I think what was hard about it was just being in a container and hearing other people's stories and hearing what they go through, and the feeling of, wow, I'm truly not alone, and wow, fuck, people go through some shit. And but also this feeling of connection. I feel like I have such a longing for deep soul connecting, and that's why I created the ER playground, to connect, to move, but not connect for violence, not connect for drama, connect to truly connect, to actually be seen and to be loved. What? Oh my God, RattleBee, we've been in here for 30 minutes. We're supposed to only be here for 15. Shit, gotta wrap it up. Oh, that means I'm just in the vortex again. All right, so LET, yes, I have my last call tomorrow, and I got my project. I graduated. All right. We did that, and I really love that we learned about nonviolent communication and active listening and solistic inquiry and holistic inquiry questions and the higher self, the survivor self, the wounded self. Yeah. And then I had this buddy call. Well, I had this buddy, and he wrote us on our group chat, and he had a seizure over the weekend, and his daughter, 8 years old, mates, 8 years old, she had to call 911 because her dad was unresponsive, and I just, I can't imagine, like, And then I literally told myself, this is why I moved, because fuck, 5 minutes from now, it's not even promised. So am I going to wait for this? No, we're not. Yeah, no. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And then what else? Am I missing anything? So we talked about inner child. We talked about the ABCs. We talked about, did we talk about this? I don't know. Rattle XR drip. So when you see me doing it's just water. It's not poison. No, not poison. Just agua, right? What? No. Okay, fine. Okay, so I think I'm just really grateful. Yeah, I think now I'll look at the green dot. I'm really grateful for what we are building, and what we are building is a safe container where we can just be, where we can just move our bodies without it being right or being wrong. And deeper than that, it's where we can move with our inner child. It's where we can move to connect within. So that's the invitation. And so RattleBee and I, we are just grateful for every single soul. The ones who are with us, the ones who slithered away, the ones who have tasted the drip, the medicine. And on a personal note, it's my medicine just to create and just to feel alive. So, am I missing anything, B? What? They know. RattleBee wants to say again that you are seen here, and that he's not fearful, that he just represents that we are truth underneath this meat flesh that we are constantly getting bitten by. Constantly. And so here the ego dies. So I think we got everything. The goal was to go on the board, but it didn't look right on, like I was looking at the board and I'm like, oh, if I write this, they'll be reading it backwards. So there's that. And am I missing anything? Well, how am I feeling? Well, my hands are sweaty, like it's just, my hands are sweaty, but I feel good. It just feels good to talk to you and to connect to the rattlers, whomever's here, I don't know, but sending you love. What else? I think that's it. So tomorrow, it's hopefully, Lord willing, we're going to move. Hopefully. If there is an issue with the musica, I apologize in advance, but we just go with the flow, right? That's what we do here. And yeah, you are loved and you are seen, and have a beautiful night. And again, our goal here is to unbury our inner child, and mine is RattleBee. All right, much love. Say much love. Ciao.